World Humanitarian Day is a time to recognize those who face danger and adversity in order to help others. Welcome to today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. Today, Tuesday, August 19, is World Humanitarian Day, and we salute all those who've gone above and beyond the call of duty. Coming up, we see how one group of students are serving their community through the Red Cross Group and hear the public's views on this year's campaign for World Humanitarian Day. Plus, the part money come yet? We hear testimonials from parents who've been assisted by this vital government program and share how you can apply. A full package is in store. Stick around for all this right after the news.
It keeps our bodies working, our food nutritious, our living and working spaces clean, and our lives comfortable. Water, the most precious resource necessary for the sustenance of life on our planet. Don't waste it. Let's conserve on this critical commodity. In the house, invest in storage containers and buckets. Take quick showers instead of long baths, and invest in water-efficient shower heads, toilets, and faucets. You may also want to consider one-pot meals and cooking methods that don't require much water. You could also wash fruits and vegetables in a bowl and reuse the water on your plants or grass. When cleaning dishes, fill both sinks and use one for washing and the other for rinsing. The leftover water can be used to wash off the concrete or asphalt in your yard. If you must wash your car at home, aim for once a fortnight and use a bucket to do the washing instead of running the hose. Don't delay. Start your water conservation practices today.
Good day, I'm Tamara McHale, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, August 19. A cabinet subcommittee headed by the Minister of National Security has been established to develop a strategic response to the treatment of persons in lockups and correctional facilities. This was announced in a press release issued by the Office of the Prime Minister on Monday. It revealed that over the next few days, the Security Minister would also review a revised lockup administration policy received from the Acting Commissioner of Police. The policy contains new arrangements pertaining to the care and protection of persons in police custody. It's also in keeping with Minister Peter Bunting's directive to the Police High Command to undertake an immediate and comprehensive review of all procedures and arrangements governing detention. In the meantime, Minister Bunting has received a status report on the number of persons in police custody as at Friday, August 16. In a related matter, the National Security Minister has called for collective responsibility in dealing with crime. Using the recent case of Mario Dean as an example, the minister says all sectors of society have a duty to act to maintain law and order.
Blame is easy to give, but what are we all doing as individuals to ensure that the society continues moving? What are we doing as congregation to ensure that we have not just prayer, but praying feet to intervene in a very real way?
Minister Bunting was speaking on the weekend at the 16th annual Back to School Fair staged by the Hope Gospel Assembly.
For the kids, I really encourage you to continue what you are doing. Stay in school. You are 6 or 7 times more likely to end up in a gang if you drop out of school. And if you end up in a gang, you're many times, at least 10 times more likely to end up in prison or end up dead.
During the book fair, about 150 children from preschool to high school were awarded scholarships and issued school supplies. And still on security, Minister Bunting has commended the Firearm Licensing Authority, the FLA, for clearing the backlog of applications and reducing the application processing time from about 3 years to 6 months.
They've seen approximately a tripling of the number of monthly applications coming in, and they have to deal with this essentially with the same staff that they were before. So there'll be continuing pressure to improve operations, increase efficiency, increase your process re-engineering to continue to satisfy clients.
Minister Bunting was speaking at the official opening of the new offices of the FLA at 91A Old Hope Road.
This new headquarters with more spacious offices to accommodate all staff is also expected to further improve the quality of service delivery by the FLA and provide a more comfortable experience for clients.
Over the past few years, the FLA has established an office in Montego Bay, introduced a high-security identification card system, and recertified licensed firearm holders. Industry Minister Anthony Hilton says there is need for a central export facility that can consolidate production and provide the quality control to help Jamaica earn more from the global ornamental fish industry. The minister says the country has the potential to earn well-needed foreign exchange from the ornamental fish export market, which is valued at $400 million US. Residents of Western St. Andrew were recently given the tools to tap into the lucrative industry under the Collaborate to Prosper project. Funded by the United States Agency for International Development, it facilitated the establishment of ornamental fish farms and the training of fish farmers. At the recent closeout ceremony, Minister Hilton said $1 million from the Constituency Development Fund would be granted to the Competitiveness Company to support the effort.
It is expected that this effort will contribute towards micro-enterprise development.
And finally, Minister of Youth and Culture Lisa Hanna has encouraged the nation's youth to seek out the teachings of the island's first national hero to learn about the importance of courage and embracing their identity.
If nothing else, let us reflect on Garvey today and move with deliberate speed to leave nothing to chance in our work, in our personal relationships, in our devotion to God, in our patriotism, in our belief that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. We must never leave these values to chance.
The minister was speaking Sunday at a floral tribute celebrating the life and work of Marcus Garvey on the 127th anniversary of his birth. And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Tamar McHale. Thank you for watching.
There's a power in the faintest heartbeat that cannot be denied. Go on and trust yourself. You can ride the wind. You're gonna take your dreams where they've never been. There's a hero in everybody's heart.
World Humanitarian Day is an opportunity to celebrate the spirit that inspires humanitarian work around the globe. Here in Jamaica, our children have adopted that spirit and are being change makers in their school and community.
Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race.
I feel very happy because to be in this club, it's great because we help all the vulnerable. When we go to places like the Burn Ward, at Children's Home, and Mustard Seed, and giving the children gifts, we feel excited because we know that we're giving and we know that we're going to be leaders of tomorrow.
A whopping 135 students, including 45 boys, have signed up to be a part of the Red Cross group at the DuPont Primary School.
What a team! Red Cross and the team. United all the people them, we serve one another. No ear barrier, no inner team. So in life, disaster and in team. So come help the sick and the suffering, and lend a hand to the needy. When war starts, Red Cross is neutral for love and peace
Dressed in white with some already in their red hats and emblems was the newest set of students to join the Red Cross Corps at DuPont Primary. So large was the group that it's said to have made the history books within Red Cross in Jamaica.
I don't recall a school having this number of persons enrolled in recent times. You are serving one another. So as you do that and you keep doing it, you will raise yourselves to greater heights.
So what does Red Cross uphold?
It promotes mutual understanding, friendship, cooperation, and lasting peace amongst all people. It endeavors only to relieve suffering, giving priority to the most urgent cases of distress.
We don't discriminate, we just help. You can do lots of things like go to the hospital, help the poor, and everything to give them soap, food, things like that.
We have a relationship with a school in Canada. Oftentimes, our school, through our principal, they send us gifts. They will send us like wheelchair and those things. Now, our principal look on which club is doing well, and he will say, okay, Red Cross is doing well, so I'll give you this gift, and you distribute to whoever you want. Now, we have the homes, and we have the hospital, and we have these places where we want to give. So we go, and we give it to them.
Having such a large number of students enrolled in the club is in line with Education Minister Reverend Ronald Thwaites' appeal for more students to become members of uniformed groups, a point supported by the school's chairman.
This is certainly a good move. We want to get our children involved in something a little bit more than themselves, organizations and activities where they are linked to giving service to humanity. And this is an example of that.
A fine example of how to keep students active, engaged, and disciplined. DuPont Primary is reaping the benefits.
When they look on DuPont, molding the children have become in giving, they become so conscious that I have potential. Oh, I'm wonderful. Oh, I can do things. I may be in a inner city, but the inner city is not in me. I am bigger than that.
There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. And this place is much brighter than tomorrow. And if you really try, you'll find there's no need to cry. In this place, you feel there's no hurt or sorrow. There are ways to get there if you care enough for the living. Make a little space, make a better place.
My child being a part of this program right now, I'm feeling totally elated because the Red Cross is a very good program to get your children involved in, because I myself was a member while I was going to high school.
I feel real good. It can help to change them and be a better person.
It's a good program because you get to help other children, help other parents. You can get to help other children by a donation, small as contribute, give to us so you can help other people. You know?
DuPont Primary Red Cross, linking together a community through the chain of service and friendship.
We are the Red Cross of DuPont Primary School. United we stand, divided we fall. We have a mission to be great leaders of tomorrow as we serve one another. As we serve one another. As we serve one another.
Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race.
Householders, business people, school administrators, protect yourself and your children from the chikungunya virus. Be on the alert. Help control the mosquito population. Chikungunya is a virus transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which breeds in and around your home, workplace, and school. Destroy breeding sites. Empty old tires and all other containers where water can settle. Bore holes in old cans. Cover water drums and garbage cans. Wash flower pots and vases and clean pet dishes regularly. Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Cover your body as much as possible and use mosquito repellent containing DEET. And if you're experiencing symptoms of chikungunya, a sudden high fever, headache, rash, nausea, pain, stiffness, or severe joint pains, see your doctor or go to the nearest health center.
Hashtag, the world needs more. That's the campaign message this year from the United Nations and its humanitarian partners. We stopped out the road to get some views on what the world needs more of, and one word kept recurring.
Love! We should have more of Jesus within us.
I think the world needs more of love. I think people don't have any love, no caring for each other. I mean, if you just look at just walking on the road, somebody want to bounce you down and they don't want to say sorry. So it's just the way the world is.
I think the world needs more love, because if we have love, then most of our problems will be solved. We'll be more caring when we have love. So the world really needs some more love.
I think the world needs to come together. We need to live as one. All of us are human beings, irrespective of race, class, color. So we need more of that. To be good global citizens, we need to understand what is happening around us and work together to see if we can solve problems impacting the world. So we need to come together. We need more unity.
What we need is love.
As we continue in the spirit of helping others, a well-known government program, PATH, has been reaching poor households to help them experience a better standard of life.
I remember the days when things wasn't right. My mama held me tight, stayed up late all through the night to rock me gently to sleep. No one else could compete, making sure we had the best of life. She made a sacrifice, never hesitate to compromise. She wanted the best life for me.
Jamaican homes are built predominantly upon the matriarchal structure, where mostly women head households and the children get more familiar with mother, mama, and grandma. They expect the female to procure the essentials, lunch money, bus fare and allowance, and rely on her to plan their activities.
We have to be the head of the house. Because the thing when they look on the children, they're not going and say, Daddy, we're going to school tomorrow. Mommy. You understand? I mean, yes, you don't have it. Go to the father. They not go to the father. Mommy, them are come too.
One thing my husband always say, Pat, it's like pencil run.
These women were participating in a focus group session. They are PATH beneficiaries and were explaining how the program has affected their lives to a Kenyan delegation. The Kenyans were here to learn more about PATH with the hope of adopting its best practices and replicating a program of a similar sort to benefit Kenya's orphans. PATH is a program of advancement through health and education. It was instituted in March of 2002 as an alternative to the social safety net programs which existed at the time. PATH issues its monetary benefits by check once every 2 months to a household representative, of which over 90% are women.
This may not be scientific. I can't speak of a research which says this. But from my personal experience and from the experience of PATH, I must say that females may be a little more prudent, with spending than with male. And we believe that it's important to give it to the females, because make the check payable, that is, to the females, as they are arguably better spenders of the money.
PATH, however, is essentially a family-oriented social safety net program. benefiting all qualified members of the household, which includes pregnant and lactating mothers, the elderly, the incapacitated male or female, and children 0 to 17 years.
I don't pay any school fee, I just pay $1,000 for the two of them. I couldn't pay the school fee if I never get it. I have to take time and pay it because the school fee is $10,000 each. So I'm very thankful for it, and it helped my mother very much to carry her to the doctor.
They describe themselves as lower income earners, many heading single-parent households, tending to as many as 7 children, others with grandchildren as well. Many are engaged in the informal commercial and small business sectors.
I have a little business now going, but you're not getting much benefit, much from the business. So you can take from the business to send them, all 4 of them, to school because 3 in high school. And if you take from your business to send all 4 of them to school, by the end of the day you have nothing in that business.
I'm not working except for a little igloring or maybe a day's work. So whenever time I get the POD program and whatever he gave to me, I put it together when POD comes around and help out a situation by sending the children to school and giving bus fare to each and everyone who is going to school.
Many of their partners are either seasonal workers, unemployed, or are being hampered by the conditions of their trade.
Sometimes in going out on the street and push his cart, selling, police come and he have to leave. So sometimes the parts drop in hand when he don't get to go sell. So, and it help both of us.
The program sets out strict guidelines concerning school attendance.
Going to school is very important. The children cannot stop from school. If they stop from school, they're automatically off the program. So they has to be in school. They cannot stop for less than 6 days for 2 months.
If he or she dropped out 3 days for the month, for that the next coming, you're not going to get any. So you're going to put out all the benefits, all what you have to send them to school.
The survey of living condition tells us that for any given day, 92% of the PATH beneficiaries would be in attendance at school, and this we are proud about.
PATH also requires that the elderly and children ages 0 to 6 years visit a government clinic or public hospital twice per year to continue receiving benefits. In selflessly caring for her household, the female satisfaction ultimately comes from the achievement and contentment of her wards.
Nadine is going to Paul Boger High, and since POD program has come in, I could not pay her the book rental. It is so expensive, and POD pay for the book, and I get a result. She have come first in her class out of 76 students in her class, and I must give thanks to POD because without them she could not learn without her books.
PATH has taught beneficiary parents the importance of keen involvement in their children's activities at school, encouraging many to forge stronger relationships with members of the school community. And at home, the simple $1,060 bi-monthly benefit has helped many to teach certain important life principles. Each month, these mothers, grandmothers, and daughters can rely on PATH's benefits to pay taxi and bus fares, purchase groceries, and put aside a little if they can. But PATH has not been able to completely rely on their adherence to program conditions, so many have had their benefits suspended.
The problem has to do with the fact that children are in non-attendance at school from time to time. And at the health centers, we are seeing where children ages 1 through 6, we are having a chronic problem in that area, where the non-compliance rate in that particular category is high.
But the women have another theory as to why PATH has been undersubscribed for these past few years.
The question what POD people ask us when they're registering the people, some people shame to thought that they don't live on their own, they live at mother house. Some tell lie, that's what they do on the program. Some say they have this into their house when they don't have it.
That's why most of us don't register on PART program.
Maybe the woman maintains her pride by keeping her socio-economic condition private. But she's reminded that empowerment comes through her seeking and taking part in opportunities for the economic and educational advancement of herself and her children. You can apply by visiting the Ministry of Labour and Social Security Parish Office nearest you. An officer will complete the application form on your behalf, so go prepared with personal and household information, birth certificate or proof of age, and ID for the household representative, and proof of age for children under 17 and the elderly. Remember, application forms are free of cost, and there's no established limit as to the number of persons in your family who can receive benefits.
I remember the days when things wasn't right. My mama held me tight, stayed up late all through the night to rock me gently to sleep. No one else could compete, making sure we had the best of life. She made a sacrifice, never hesitate to compromise. She wanted the best life for me.
Everyone can be a humanitarian. All you need is a willing spirit to serve and help others. To get involved and learn more about the campaign, visit www.worldhumanitarianday.org. Be sure to send your feedback on our programs by emailing us at jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. Our website, jis.gov.jm, has all the timely information you need, along with our social media pages on Facebook and Twitter. On behalf of the entire JIS production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Remember to show love today.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.